Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Surviving Mars. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because I'm certainly excited to be back with the colony on the Red Planet. We, of course, have the Enterprise over here currently getting refueled, getting ready to head back to Earth. Apparently, we have finished scanning the nearby sectors, which is great news. We'll go ahead and scan those two, and we'll queue those three up for scanning as well. We also have an anomaly over here, which is very good news. Let's go ahead and send the Explorer over to have a little look at that. We'll see how that plays out. And we also have some construction going on over here of some new solar panels. So I think what we could do is maybe look into the idea of at least laying out where the other rows of solar panels are going to go. So right there, and then we could do another set there. So basically we're going to have row upon row of solar panels eventually. We're not going to be doing this initially. We're going to have row upon row of solar panels with batteries at the end of each row. Assuming I can actually place the batteries at the end of each row, which isn't necessarily guaranteed because, you know, some of the rows might be placed in weird spots like this one. So unfortunately, we're only going to have one battery at the end of that row. But that's fine. That's totally fine. I think I'm going to go ahead and just cancel the construction of those solar panels there anyway, because we don't need them and I don't want to set that up just yet. Because, you know, there are other things we need to do. And we also don't want to use all of the polymers just yet. So basically, there's work to do. There is still a lot of work to do before we get the solar farm. And apparently there's a pipe leak as well. Now that is a bit of a problem because that's going to slow down the amount of water going to the fuel depot. And that is something we want to stay on top of. Eventually, we are going to want redundancies built into all of our pipe systems and all of the cable systems as well. Apparently we've just gone ahead and scanned another sector. There's more concrete there. We're also getting low on metals. Now that is a bit of a worry, but I do believe we'll send the RC rover back there. I do believe we have some metal just sat out here. Let's just go ahead and close all of those. So let's go ahead and send the transport rover to there to grab some metal and then to bring it back. And I believe there were more metal deposits done here as well. So there is plenty of metal still to grab. I don't think we are going to be having too much trouble at the moment. I think we'll be just fine in terms of metal deposits. Now let's see here. What else can we do to prep for more people coming to the colony? Well, or I say more people in general coming to the colony. One thing we could do is absolutely build another moisture evaporator over here. Because the way I see it, I mean, I guess we could have a string of moisture evaporators going up that way. So I think we build another one just there. And I think we also go ahead and build another water tower just, let's see, can I actually, what way have we done the water tower here? So it goes like that, and that'll be fine. So I think we do that. I think that's going to be good. And I think we can also go ahead and just connect the water towers together in one way or other. We could build that. And then we could do, let's see here. Can we get this to work in a way that doesn't look silly? Not entirely sure we can. I think that'll work. That'll connect those together. That'll be fine. This is obviously going to need some power. And also, a vehicle is low on battery. You are low on battery. So what I think we'll get you to do is you're going to grab that metal. Going to get 30 metal in total, I believe. So you're at 28, 29, and 30. There it is. Are you going to automatically recharge by chance? Because if you don't, that is going to be a little bit of an issue. Hopefully you automatically recharge. Otherwise, you will break down. Yeah, you are not automatically recharging. Let's just tell you to go to the power cables there and recharge. Let's maybe get you to do the same as well. There we go. We'll get those vehicles charged up a little bit. Those pipes are going in, which is great news. Let's get back to power and run some cables over to the new spot there. What I think we'll do is we'll run some cables up to there, and then sort of like that. And we're just going to have the cables follow underneath those pipes the way I've been talking about. So that'll be fine. This cable here is obviously a little bit unnecessary, but we can remove that a little bit later down the line. All I want really is super good water production and super good oxygen production, which actually I haven't really paid attention to. And also power production. I believe this is full, isn't it? Yeah. What do we need to maintain that? Metal. So that needs metal to maintain. That's fine. This needs metal as well. That's also fine. These need metal as well. Now that is something we need to stay on top of. This needs polymers. So the way I see it, we need to stay on top of metal production. We absolutely need to stay on top of metal. Otherwise, if we run out, we have a pretty major issue. Now let's go ahead and say that you're going to come down here and grab metal from that area and bring it back to base. And that should be fine. Do we have any anomalies to scan? We do not. We did have a meteor touchdown over there, which is a little bit scary, but not the end of the world. Certainly not the, well, it was for the dinosaurs, but not the end of the world when it comes to being on Mars. Let's see. Ooh, an anomaly has been found. We've also, ooh, look at that. Now that right there is an area that I would like to get to know. We have 3 admittedly very low deposits for rare metals. If I was to build a dome there, could it reach both? Ooh, it sort of could, actually. That's not the worst thing in the world. Now, fuel compression has been researched. Remind me what fuel compression happened to be? Cargo space has been increased. Okay. Well, at the moment we are, we have 3 empty slots here. So let's see what else we're going to be working towards. We could start working towards getting apartments for domes so that we can bring more people in. That's not essential because the way domes work is you bring in your first set of colonists who are going to be the founders. And for 10 days, you can't bring any more colonists to Mars because you need to make sure that the founders can survive. So we don't really need apartments. We're not going to have a lot of colonists at first. We can research it, but it's not essential. Drone swarm. Drone hubs are constructed with additional 2 drones. The maximum number is increased by 80. That could be useful. Low G turbines. Wind turbine upgrade. Power production increased by 33%. Maybe. And then systematic training. Scientists and botanists have plus 10 performance when working in their speciality. I don't think we need that right now. We don't have any colonists. So let's go for the drone hubs, the turbines, and then the low G high rises. Because why not? And let's also make sure, I mean, what are you doing at the minute? You're getting a lot of metal? Okay. We'll leave you to it for a while. We don't need to do much else there. But we do need to start thinking about bringing another ship to Mars, because that is actually a thing we can do here. We have 2 rockets available at the moment. And what we could do is say that we wanted to bring maybe a polymer factory that will use water and fuel to create polymers. Could be useful. Could be very useful, actually, to be honest. We could bring more drone hubs. We are going to need some of those, and we can't make them ourselves at the moment. I don't think we're going to need more moisture evaporators, I'm going to be honest. I don't think we need more fuel refineries. It would be nice, but then we would need more moisture evaporators in return, so I don't think we need any of that, to be honest. An RC rover could be useful. That will have 4 drones built into it, and it also acts as a mobile hub for drones where they can recharge, so that could potentially be useful. I don't think it's essential. An RC explorer would give me more research, which I enjoy the idea of. And more drones would be faster construction, but I really don't think we need that either. honestly, I think just getting a shipment of things like concrete, metals, food, well, not food, we don't need that, but polymers, machine parts could be an idea. But I think we'll leave it for the time being. We'll come back to it when we figure out exactly what our next step is going to be. Because we do have a decent supply of metals around here. So I don't think that's urgent. But the way I'm looking at things at the moment, it really seems like the next step is going to be to build a dome. I'm really feeling like that is the next step here. Because we have power, we have oxygen, we have water, we are making fuel. So a dome seems like it would be a good idea. And more so, a dome that can get me metal seems like it would be a very good idea. Unfortunately, we don't actually have a drone commander down here because this drone hub doesn't have range down that way. So what we may want to do is actually bring in a second ship that's going to let me make another drone hub. So what I think we'll do is say, give me a drone hub. And let's see, maybe I think we'll get the polymer factory for future reference. I don't think that's going to be something we need immediately. And I don't, well, I mean, we could get the electronics factory and the machine parts. Machine parts are made from metal, and we do need machine parts for a lot of things. We do need electronics as well. There are a few buildings that will use electronics to, well, be constructed and also for repairs. Unfortunately, electronics are made from rare metals, and we aren't going to be mining those for a while. So I think a machine parts factory is something we could use. This is going to be very expensive. And I'm also thinking that bringing some... We don't need concrete. I don't think we need metal. We might need polymer. Though I'm not sure at the minute. Maybe we just bring the rover and we bring some drones. Although the rover does provide, so maybe just the rover. Or maybe just the prefab buildings. I want to make sure I'm getting the right set of items here. Again, metal is unnecessary, food is unnecessary. Polymers, maybe, machine parts, we can't make for a while. So let's just bring a small shipment of machine parts, electronics, and polymers. And I think maybe some drones? 5 drones? No, we're going to get some drones if we bring that rover, aren't we? That rover is 300 million, though. Let's bring the rover. No, let's not. Let's just bring what we have. This is going to be getting renamed. It's not going to be the Pegasus. It is the Voyager. That'll do. Launch the Voyager. So it's going to be on its way. We're going to need to get that a landing site, which I think will probably be right here at some point. And let's also just check on these. These are going to need repaired fairly soon, which is fine. If we have a look at the map, we are still scanning all of those areas. We could start scanning over there for sure. And we'll see how that works out. And in terms of research, things are still going pretty well. Of course, the vector pump is going to be the next one. Actually, right there is why we didn't need another moisture evaporator, because they are about to get more efficient. So we'll not worry too much about those. These aren't full yet, are they? No. They're actually both not even halfway full, so that's fantastic. Also, a little bit of metal up there, I think. No, I can't click on it. I guess it isn't metal. Never mind. That's perfectly fine. Anything to scan? We do actually have an anomaly over here. So let's send the explorer out to have a look at that and see what exactly is going on with it. And what I think we could also do is, if I can place the dome...
Milestone achieved.
What have we got here? We find water on Mars. We find water on Mars! Not bad. So that'll be useful later. We can actually start grabbing the underground water at some point, if we decide to build over that way. We don't have to build over that way to grab it. Well, we do have to build a thing. You get what I mean. We could grab that without specifically expanding that way. but I don't know if we will. Now, my question here becomes, do I want to build this dome in such a way that I can maybe grab those rare metals there? I feel like the answer is going to be a no. I think this dome is going to just be built probably like there. Obviously, it's quite far from a working drone commander. Oh, did I did get a drone hub. Okay. I was slightly worried that I forgot to bring a drone hub, but that's fine. Basically, that drone hub's gonna have to be built sort of down here-ish. Then obviously cables and stuff have to be built down that way as well. In fact, what we could do is start working on bringing those cables down towards the dome there. So the cables are gonna go like that. And I think that'll be fine. We can go to life support as well and say that the pipes are going to follow exactly the same path. So all the way along to there. That'll be absolutely perfect. It's a nice long path down to the dome. We have new techs available for research off of that anomaly. What have we got? It is... Is it all of these? Advanced Martian engines. Rockets and shuttles require less fuel. That's not a bad thing. Could definitely queue that up. Transport optimization. The RC transport harvests resources faster and the storage is increased by 15. That's going to be useful as well. We are using that transport a lot. Extractor amplification. The production will be increased by 25%, but also power consumption goes up by 10. Maybe. Earth-Mars Initiative increases research provided by sponsor by 100. Okay. I want that. We're actually going to drop the high rises out and go straight for that. I think that'll be good. That's even more research, meaning, you know, generally faster research, which is kind of a thing that we really want. So we'll see how that plays out. Turns out the Voyager is over 80% of the way to Mars. That's good stuff and exciting stuff. You could probably head back to base at this point, since you're not really doing anything out there. I don't think... No more anomalies. I really am struggling to say anything today, apparently. It's just excellent. You're grabbing the last of the metal from down there, and we actually have a decent little bit of metal in storage. But let's go ahead and get the Voyager to touch down here. It's apparently blocking objects here. Uneven terrain. Oh. Okay. In that case, we'll have it just land there. Voyager's going to land on the other side of the storage area.
Sector scan.
There it is. Oh, we got another anomaly up there. Let's go ahead and send out the little RC Explorer to have a look at it. And let's zoom back in as the Voyager touches down. Fantastic. So we have a lot of resources on board, which will be gradually taken off as the drones become available to do it. But we also have some structures, such as the drone hub here. So what I'm thinking we do is we're just going to build this drone hub right there. And that'll...
Battery low.
Vehicle battery low. I'm assuming you. No, it's actually going to be you. Interesting. Well, maybe recharge when you get back to base and don't, you know, run out. Either way, once this thing gets built, we can start working on the dome. The dome is going to need 10 polymers, 20 metals, and 80 concrete. I believe all of that's available, so that's not so bad. If we have a look at power, we don't have any prefabs. If we look at production, we do have a polymer factory. This is not good. This is not good at all. So, the RC Explorer investigating the anomaly released high-pressure gas. The carbon dioxide erupted, damaging the rover and lifting tons of fine dust into the atmosphere, forming a dust devil. The red planet reminded us how dangerous an alien world could be. Expect fierce dust devils to form at the anomaly location. How did you manage that? How did you manage that? That's actually really bad. That's not good at all. Let's get you back here to do some recharging. And let's get back to what I was doing. So I was looking at the polymer factory, which actually needs workers. This actually needs to be close to a dome, which is interesting. So what we could do is basically just put the polymer factory right there, and it'll work fine. Now, it does say that there's not enough power, which is interesting. Can I see the current power production stats? With surplus of 36. Interesting. So the demand is 24. The production is 60. 400 is stored. That's a bit strange, actually. This definitely needs to be repaired. That is a little bit strange. That was... Oh, not enough power because that's not actually built. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll go ahead and build the polymer factory just down here. Right about there. It'll take a bit of time, but it'll be done. It'll absolutely be done. I think these guys might actually be... What are you doing? Oh, you're moving some things out of there. Okay. Well, that's fine. Once this is built here, the factory can go up and it'll have the ability to actually produce polymer eventually. I think we will probably turn that off. Oh, it's being built already. Okay, well. Apparently they're in a bit of a rush to start making polymers. I mean, I appreciate it, but the factory is just going to be turned off because I don't want to consume the fuel or water just yet. It also doesn't have a power connection yet, which is kind of essential, so... You know, to each their own, I suppose. They can build the factory without powering it. That's great. Why do I get the feeling this drone hub here is... Yeah, it's not really doing much. Although it will service the dome itself, so that's fine. Oh, there we go. So the dome will have a power connection and a water slash oxygen connection, which is good. And it is not actually getting its materials. That's interesting. It's not getting its materials because these guys can't actually reach the materials. I didn't think about that. I actually did not think about that. Now, interestingly, the Enterprise is fully fueled and ready to go. I do, however, believe it's acting as a drone hub, is it not? So if we move the Enterprise, I guess drones can still get out to there because the Voyager's there. So let's just tell the Enterprise to get out of here.
Milestone achieved.
And that'll move some of the drones to this thing as the drone commander. Now, how do we build this dome then? If they can't get resources down here, I mean, they need concrete, they need metals, they need polymer. I think I know what we need to do here. This guy's gonna come back here and recharge. And then he's gonna need to start moving some concrete back and forth. So this thing's gonna move concrete back and forth to the dome, so the dome can actually be built. Then polymer and metal as well. So grab some metal and start bringing the metal down to the dome. He doesn't need to grab all of it. He just needs to grab like 20, which he's not got. So let's have you go ahead and unload metal there. And what that'll do is allow these drones to start moving the metal into the dome. And then as they do that, we tell this guy to go and grab some polymer. We only need 10 of it to allow the drones to start, you know, loading that into the dome as well. So there we go. Let's have you head over here and grab some polymers.
Sector scanned.
There we go. So those drones are going to be super busy. We have a new sector scanned as well. Not bad. Let's just continue with the scanning of all of those areas. There's me rover doing his work. Fantastic stuff. And you guys are actually just constantly moving concrete back and forth. We have so much concrete coming in there. Right, so how are you looking on polymer? 7, 8, 10. Right, that's enough. So let's have you come down here and drop off the polymer. And then I believe we'll just set up a transport route for the concrete, since we need 80 bits of concrete down here rather than just, you know, one little shipment of polymer. So let's see. It's got all the metal it needs. It has now got all the polymer that it needs. So that should be everything. What we're going to tell this guy to do is actually load up on all resources. So he's going to grab the metal. Can I get you to load up on the polymer as well? And then I want you to drop everything off up here. Just unload everything up that way. And what we can do is just say, you know, go ahead and set up a transport route for concrete going down to the dome. Because the dome at this point has all the metal, all the polymer, but it's going to need 3 shipments of concrete to actually get finished. So that guy's going to drop everything off there. And we are going to set up a transport route for concrete going to the dome. So that should be perfect. He can load up on it. It's not going to take long at all, since it's all harvested and just stored. So there we go. He's heading off with a bunch of concrete. The drones can get to work. We have got a malfunctioning pipe. That's a little bit worrying. Yeah, of course it would be the one that leads down to the dome. That is going to need metal to fix. We might want to keep a store of metal down here. We absolutely might want to keep a store of metal down here. Otherwise, that will never be fixed. Which is a little bit of a worry. So, what if we were to say to this guy that he needs to load up on metal? Although I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. We're losing those resources at the moment. We're losing a bit of oxygen. We're losing a bit of water. But it isn't the worst thing in the world. I've also realized this thing here needs fuel and needs water. But it's also gonna need a regular supply. Or not also, but it's gonna need a regular supply of fuel. Because we're not actually able to transport that. That's a little bit of a pain. But that's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll totally figure it out. Let's have a look at the research then and see how we're going. The breakthrough is coming along nicely. It is tempting. You know what? We're actually going to just say that the Earth-Mars initiative is going to be number 2 there, because that's a bit more research, which I think is a good idea. Let's see here. The transport will have more stuff to harvest. The rockets and shuttles need less fuel. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. We can make farms. That's actually something we're probably really gonna want. That right there will also produce fuel, but let's get the farms going. That's gonna be a big deal. Is this thing, no, it's not ready to construct. That's fine. It needs 20 more, and you are currently holding 28. Okay, well, I guess, you know, take down there the 30 that you have. And that'll be all right. I think what we could also maybe do is look into getting some storage areas done here. So maybe just like a universal depot for the dome could be a bit of an idea. So just right there. So anything left over will just go into storage, and I'm okay with that. I think that's perfectly fine. So you're going to drop off the concrete there, which means the drones can go ahead and do their thing, and you're going to head up and grab more. Now, I don't want you to do that. I want you to go up and grab me some metal. Just a little bit. We don't need a whole lot, but just grab a bit of metal. We'll bring it down. We can put it in storage, and it means that these guys can fix things. which is the important thing. We definitely need to be able to fix anything that goes wrong in the dome. So we'll just load up. We'll load up a metal completely. We'll bring 30 metal down here. And we can unload it onto that. And these guys are actually working on the dome actively, which is fantastic news. Dome is done. Can I rename this? Can I rename this? I can rename this. It's going to be the DIMMADOME. There we go. Owned by Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Just, is it obvious that I really liked Fairly Odd Parents? I'm just throwing that out there. So this is not getting power, which is curious. Why is that not getting power? I guess these are... You know what? We can actually just look at stats here. Hold on. So... Are we just not able to discharge enough power from the batteries? Because that's what it seems like to me. And if that's the case, that is fixable. Obviously means we need more batteries, but it is fixable. Once those go up, so we are actually generating enough power. It is just the batteries that are the issue. Well, again, like I said, that's totally fixable. Let's go to here. And we are going to start work on the next row, I think. We'll not do another 2 rows. But we'll do this sort of thing. We can go back to power and do some power cables that are just going to go straight across to there. And we can also go ahead and actually start putting the batteries in. Now, we do actually have the polymers available to do this, which is great news. So those can go right at the end there. And I'm also thinking that a bit of redundancy built into these probably wouldn't hurt. Maybe we'll do that a little bit later. We'll get this built. We'll see how those 2 batteries perform. We're also going to increase the priority on these to high, and that's going to do it for all the batteries. At least for the construction of the batteries, anyway. And hopefully that'll be enough. Hopefully that'll be enough to actually power the dome consistently. Obviously, it's not that big of a deal with nothing in the dome, but if people are living in there, it's a major problem. Now, speaking of people living in the dome, we probably want to start putting living quarters in there. And things like research labs, because research labs will obviously generate research based on the number of people working in them. But I don't know if I want to do that yet, because the metals extractor is kind of the big thing. That's kind of the thing that we wanted, right? So I think what we're going to do is we are just going to set up the metals extractor to be right there. And that is going to need concrete and machine parts. Interesting. We don't have any of those here. So let's go and get you to load up on concrete for me, if you wouldn't mind, bud. We'll bring that down. Machine parts, we actually have a decent number of. So that's fine. We can bring some of those down as well. But we'll get this guy to load up in about 20 concrete. And let me just double check what that thing needed. So 20 concrete, 5 machine parts. Okay. So we'll try and keep an eye on you so you don't load up in too much. There's 15. That's 20. So 20 concrete and 5 machine parts. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. All right. So just go and unload that onto the stockpile there, if you wouldn't mind. Just unload everything. And that means we can start building that thing, which is going to be the first job that we're going to want these guys inside the dome working on. The machine parts factory probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. So I think we could do that. It's going to have 5 workers per shift. This is going to have a few workers per shift as well. So I think we will do the machine parts factory. And I think we can also look at actually putting in things like the living quarters, because obviously they kind of need somewhere to live. So the living quarters can go right there. And you know what? We'll actually finish the dome and get people into it in the next episode, because this one's running on just a little bit. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it there for part 2 of Surviving Mars. I hope you're enjoying it thus far. I know I am. And apparently we have to repair this thing. That will get done automatically. That's fine. Although we don't actually have any metal up here. So that's great. Just before we wrap things up, can we maybe get you to go and grab some metal from somewhere? If there is any lying around. There is a bit up here, isn't there? No. There? That metal? That is not metal. Do we have metal anywhere? Because we kind of really need it. That's metal. No, that's polymer. I didn't know we could get polymer deposits. That's actually really new to me. There is metal right there. So what we'll do is say that you are going to grab all resources in that area. And you're going to bring them up there. So off you go, bud. You have a good time doing your thing. We will eventually build the living quarters. And like I said, ladies and gents, we're going to leave it there for today. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been Surviving Mars Part 2. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.